So I might be just a tad late to this news, considering it's coming from a leak that was released 2 weeks ago. Yeah, sorry about that. I was a little bit busy uploading other content, and maybe playing a little bit too much Slay the Spire. Regardless, I thought it was pretty important I sort of make a video on this, especially considering it's about an update that is pretty impactful to the game, could in fact kill the game, so I think most of my audience probably wants to hear my opinion on it, and if they don't, well then hit me with a who asked in the comments, feel free. But I thought maybe it's important to at least discuss it, I guess. It's also been a long ass time since I've done a discussion video just like this one, so I was kind of itching to make one. So if you do enjoy this kind of content, make sure to let me know down below, leave a like, all that kind of stuff, because I don't really know how much interest there is in these kind of videos. I can sort of see by like click-through rates and all that kind of stuff, but it's probably easier if someone just tells me in the comments, hey, this video is kind of fun and want to see more of it. Also, obviously hitting the subscribe button lets me know you guys want to see more content just like this, and I'll make more just like it. So make sure to subscribe, let me know if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into the discussion. So Duel Links this year is about to face a very unique problem it has never faced in its history. A pretty major problem at that one. To put it simply, it's about to run out of content. Not in terms of actual cards, because trust me, there's quite a few cards that can still add to this game, and there's quite a few more constantly being printed, but in general, it's about to run out of content because, well, it's kind of based on animes. And it's run out of animes. And this simply means, if there's no new anime, there's no new world. Because every new world is obviously based on an anime. Other than, of course, the Dark Side Dimensions world, which is based on an anime movie, but we can't really do that again, considering there's only 2 other Yu-Gi-Oh! Movies, both of them once again DM world, one of which we've already yoinked all the characters from, and the other doesn't actually introduce any new characters, so unless they want to release literally another copy of the DM world, they can't really do that, which means we're out of content. Now, when I say we've run out of anime, that's not entirely true. In fact, there's one entire whole Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime Duel Links is yet to cover. Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s. And this is a scary anime to think to come to Duel Links, purely because, well, it's an entirely different format, and judging by the leaks we got, it's pretty insinuated that that's the world we're probably getting, or at least maybe getting a sort of game mode for it, or I don't know how they're going to introduce it, and that's the scary part. Because for those that don't know, Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s isn't played under standard Yu-Gi-Oh! Rules. It's not played under Speed Duel rules, or just standard, Master Duel, full board sort of rules. It's completely different. It's played under Rush Duel, which is a very, very different format, which brings a ton of problems. Now, I'm not going to make this video a video about me explaining the Rush Duel rulebook to you, because I don't actually know all the rules myself, but all you actually need to know is that it's an extremely vastly different format. Let me give you an example of just 2 of the rules, because these 2 should just tell you about how drastic the difference is. The first one is, there is no limit on the normal summon or set. That's right, you can just summon your entire hand if you feel like it. Every deck has become a pendulum deck. The other rule is, of course, your draw phase, you draw until you have 5 cards in your hand. It's not like you draw 1 card per turn. If you have 0 cards in your hand, you draw 5 cards. Think of how crazy that sounds. That is the format this is under. So I'm not saying this is a bad format, but just keep that in mind, just how different it is, because that sort of brings on the rest of the discussion and where the problems lie. Basically, your Duel Links cards you currently own, all the ones you've kind of collected all the way since back in 2016, every single one of those cards cannot be played in a Rush Duel format. This basically means if they release a brand new world based around this format, you cannot use your old cards in it. So that's the first problem. All your old cards might just become pretty irrelevant, as you just no longer be able to use them, and it's going to feel like you wasted all your money. The second problem lies in, well, if there's this brand new format, this brand new game mode, and all this new support being released for this brand new game mode, what happens to the other one? Am I going to log into Duel Links now and not be able to play Duel Links? I'm going to have to play Rush Duel format instead? Or are we going to have sort of a 50-50 split? Are we going to have it more leaning towards Rush Duel or more leaning towards Duel Links? What is actually going to happen here? Because there is a lot of different ways they can implement this, and the main one that I'm thinking is going to happen, and I would put money on actually going to be implemented, doesn't look too promising for people that don't want to actually play a new format. Let me give you a couple of scenarios. So keep in mind, I'm just making these scenarios up on the top of my head by just sort of theorizing what could potentially happen based on just what I've seen in the past and what I think Konami might end up doing and what I've seen done in other games. These aren't just sort of hard facts or the things that can only happen. There's plenty of different ways they could implement these. This is just the way I think Rush Duel would be implemented if it does get implemented into the game. And I have two theories. One of which I think is the most likely one, is actually probably going to occur. The second one is, well, it's just me being a bit of pure copium, I believe, and it's very unlikely to occur, but I'll talk about anyway, is just cover sort of a lot of different changes they could do that may also impact maybe the first theory as well, just sort of depends on how they want to implement it. Alright, so the first theory, basically, it's going to stay the exact same as standard Duel Links, but they're going to introduce a brand new world. And with the new world comes the brand new game mode, which on the ranked ladder, there'll just be the standard Duel Links ranked ladder, then under it or above it, they'll have the Rush Duel game mode. And it'll be basically just the standard stuff. Every single month we'll still get a new box, still get new structure decks, all that kind of stuff. But everything will be split in half, or maybe even leading more towards Rush Duel. Not sure which way they will go, maybe they'll lead more towards Duel Links, but I think for the first couple of months as they do implement it, it will lead heavily towards Rush Duel, meaning there'll be multiple months during the year where we won't get any standard Duel Links content. You'll get a Rush Duel box in its place. Now the reason I think this is sort of the most likely thing to occur is simply because I don't really see Konami just hiring a bunch more devs to cover the Rush Duel side of things, meaning I think if they have developers sort of working on the game, they're just going to split the dev time sort of 50-50. They're going to be like, alright, this month we're doing Duel Links, this month we're doing Rush Duel. And that's just sort of how it's going to be. There's no like, it's kind of hard for me to see a world where they don't split it 50-50. Let's say they just decide to release a Duel Links box and a Rush Duel box every month. That just seems like a really hard world for me to see. Meaning if you're an avid Duel Links player and you just don't want to play a brand new format, you're just more interested in playing the same format you've played the last however many years, you're probably going to have your content just split in half. Also, all your characters split in half. Literally everything in the game split in half. Now keep in mind, when I say 50-50 split, I don't literally mean your boxes will be split in half. Like, I don't mean we'll get like a half Duel Links, half Rush Duel box every month. That's not what I think will occur. I think the content sort of releases will just be split in half. So 1 month Duel Links, 1 month Rush Duel, 1 month Duel Links character, 1 month Rush Duel character, 1 month Duel Links box, 1 month Rush Duel box. And they'll just be completely split in half, meaning some months you won't get Duel Links content, some months you won't get Rush Duel content. Which basically means if you're an avid or active Duel Links player and you're only interested in playing the format you've played for the last however many years, your content just got completely wiped in half. Half your content you just won't see every year, it's just going to be completely gone in place of this brand new game mode instead. So this, I feel like, will just be a completely awful way of doing things, and it might just be the final nail in the coffin that just kills this game, or at least halves the player base to a point where there isn't a whole lot of reason to play it unless you're a non-Western player where there actually is like hype for Rush Duel. It'll just be such an awful way to do things and will cause a lot of people to quit. Probably more people to quit than more people to join the game. So I really hope this isn't how they're going to implement it, but sadly I think it's probably the most likely way we're going to be getting it. Moving on to theory number 2. And this theory, like I said, it's the copium theory. I do think it's within the realm of possibility to actually occur, but how likely it is to occur, it's not likely, okay? I'm just throwing out ideas, hoping that maybe this is sort of the route they go, and if they do go this route, trust me, it would be amazing for the game. It would actually be like a good way to make Duel Links grow again. It would be so goddamn good. Just bringing in the Rush Duel player base from Japan would just be amazing, and it would just be a good way to make the game come bigger, rather than just the slowly sort of shrinking-ish player base and the lack of new players coming in that we currently have. It'd be kind of nice to have this update, but I just don't think it's likely to happen. But let's get into the theory anyway. So the second theory is, when you open your Duel Links app, you'll be given a screen which gives you a choice. Go to Duel Links, go to Rush Duel. Basically meaning they will create a game within a game. And this would be absolutely incredible. Even if they implemented it in a way where sort of like it's still within the new world sort of screen selection thing where you just choose to go to Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s and it will take you to the brand new game mode. I think this would still be a good way to implement it, as long as they make it so it's basically a game within a game, which basically means the gem currency you're currently using for your standard boxes and all that won't be used in this brand new world. It'll be a different currency. This would also mean different content releases that are completely separate from Duel Links and don't take the place of them. So you'll still get your standard Duel Links box every month, but maybe you'll get a Rush Duel box as well. I don't know how they do this, as it would mean that their current development team would have to either grow or sort of split their work and somehow still manage to get out the same amount of content. Maybe they cut back a bit on sort of some of the new character releases, making it so they can sort of make time for some Rush Duel content. I don't know how they do it exactly, but basically we still get the standard Duel Links box every month. We still get the standard Duel Links structure deck every few months, and nothing sort of changes there. But now we have a brand new game mode that becomes almost just a brand new game with its own sort of format, its own ranked ladder. It has its own currency, which is would be insane if they did something like this, because their own new currency would mean you wouldn't have to worry about spending your gems every month on sometimes on Duel Links trying to cover some gems for the Rush Duel content as well. They're completely separate. You can earn them by doing different things for different worlds, and they just don't interact with each other at all. This would be insane, as rather than losing content, you just be gaining new content. It'd be absolutely insane. It also would mean, and this is actually the pure copium talking, we could get crafting. Now, crafting I don't think will ever be implemented into standard Duel Links, but if we literally introduce a brand new world, which becomes a brand new game mode and almost a game within a game, with its own currency and all that, maybe we actually get crafting for Rush Duel. So your Rush Duel cards would become craftable. And I think that would be absolutely incredible. Just to have all these sort of new features as part of this new game mode that wouldn't take away from the other one. It would literally just mean more content for us. And I'm all for more content. Trust me, I don't actually hate the idea of being able to play Rush Duel and Duel Links. I just hate the idea of maybe losing 50% of the current Duel Links content we're getting. So if they implement it in this way, I think this would be insane for the game. The only downside I see from this second theory is basically we just lose out on a brand new world. That's it. Which, to be fair, is a pretty major thing to not get a brand new world this year, but honestly, if in place of a brand new world, we got an entire new game basically within a game, I'd be fine with that trade-off. If we lose out on getting a few new characters, honestly, I wouldn't really care all that much. As long as we still get the standard Duel Links box that month and maybe some sort of event to cover it, I really wouldn't mind. The only thing I sort of care about is, like I said, I want standard Duel Links content every single month like we're currently getting. I don't want that being cut off. But if we lose out on a brand new world, and the alternative is we get this whole new game mode with all these new features and all this kind of stuff, I wouldn't really care. I think the only sort of people that should care might be people that are free to play, because obviously brand new characters, if we don't get as many of them because they're in the Rush Duel game mode and we don't get the brand new world with the standard new characters like we normally get, it would mean you guys have less gems to sort of farm. But honestly, if we get an entire new game mode that's really free-to-play friendly, let's say it actually has crafting in it, that's just literally just a win for you guys, especially considering it means that some months in Duel Links, when you don't want to use all your gems on one of the boxes because you think it's kind of boring, you want to save them for something else, you can just go into the Rush Duel game mode and use all your other Rush Duel sort of currency that's in there, use that on their sort of new boxes, rather than worrying about using your gems from the other one. So you can keep saving and then play Rush Duel instead for a while. I think it's just sort of a win-win for free-to-play players as well. It just sort of means that, yeah, you would lose out on the new world, and you would lose out on a few new characters. So those are my two theories. Essentially, if Konami wants to introduce this brand new game mode or this brand new world as additional content, it'll be amazing for the game. It'll be a good way to just absolutely grow it, especially considering how popular game mode is over in Japan. It will just mean a lot more new players jump ship into it from that sort of Japanese audience, and it'll be fantastic for it. It'll make the game actually grow again. But if Konami introduces it as a split sort of feature, it'll be horrendous for the game. A split in content will basically mean, well, 50% cut to all your current Duel Links content, and the Western audience will just plummet. Because keep in mind, by the way, I don't think we get the Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's anime over here. I don't think we get the Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's cards over here. We certainly don't get translations for the Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's games over here. So it's just sort of like, there's no hype over here for Yu-Gi-Oh! 7. So introducing this brand new world, this brand new game mode, isn't going to hype up as many people as I might hope to, so it's just not going to be very good for a Western audience. But like I said, if they do introduce it as sort of additional content, it'll be fantastic and it will literally just grow the game. But that's just a theory. A game theory. And one that's probably not going to come true. So let me know in the comments down below what you guys think might happen. I'll be reading all the comments, by the way, to see sort of what your opinions are, what you guys think might happen, because this is sort of a subject where it's sort of just up in the air what they might do. They might even just release it as a game mode, and that's just sort of it. Just maybe not even release that many new cards. It might just be sort of a one-off event or something crazy, or who knows what they're going to do. Infinite possibilities. Let me know down below what you guys think might happen. Also, if you enjoyed the video, remember to leave a like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. And let me know if you want me to do more sort of talking videos like this in the future, as I'm happy to do them. There's plenty of subjects to talk about, especially with Duel Links, Master Duel, and just standard Yu-Gi-Oh! So if you want me to do more of these, let me know, subscribe, like, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, I need to end the video. Alright, I've talked too long. Thank you guys for watching. Laters.
Hey, big brother, can I watch SpongeBob?
Shut up, Mokuba. I'm busy flagging YouTube videos to compensate for the fact that I have an extremely small penis.
Oh.